And I could spend a week just watching and rewatching his 2 Mr. Freeze episodes from the animated series. So I've just been so fortunate. And I got to watch my dreams come true. And we've got a legacy. 4 times now, we've completely redefined what a comic book superhero movie could be. Tim did it first. With Chris Nolan, he elevated this whole thing. So when we walk out of a superhero movie like Chris's movie, we don't just say, oh, that was a great comic book movie. At last, we can all say that was a great film. And then Todd, you know, I believe that cinema at its best is a mirror of our society. And you hold it up to the face of the people watching the movie, and it's us. Warts and all, it's us. And that movie, thematically, a comic book movie, directly made us look at ourselves in a polarized world, in a world in which we've lost our civility with each other, where we're just talking at each other instead of with each other, where we're ignoring issues of mental health, which is tied into gun violence. And that movie tackled the whole damn thing and did it so incredibly well. And now with Matt, my God, this is a noir crime drama, The Batman. This is the world's greatest detective. I found in my file, I started in late '89 telling the studio we got to do Batman as the world's greatest detective. It's only taken 33 years, but it was worth the wait. It's just incredible. And I tell people, they say, well, what are the cinema antecedents for the Batman? They said, is it which Batman movie would it be, or would it be a Marvel movie? I said, no, it's Silence of the Lambs. It's Seven, The Usual Suspects, Chinatown, Zodiac, a little bit of French Connection. It's completely redefined what a comic book movie can be. So I wanted to come back here for Mike and for me, so he would give me the opportunity to talk to my fellow fans, people who really are on my wavelength and understand where I'm coming from and why I've done what I do. And I am just so happy to be back in New York, back in front of a Comic-Con crowd post-COVID. And I thank you all very, very much for being here today. Thanks. All right, Mike says we have time for Q&A.
Yeah, sure.
Go right ahead.
Hi.
Speak up so people can hear you.
Sorry, gotta use my teacher voice. So firstly, I just want to say thank you, because I actually been teaching graphic novels in my graphic novel classes in my high school for the last several years. And had it not been for you, that wouldn't be possible today, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I've actually been using your memoir, The Boy Who Loved Batman, in my recent classes, so that's why I had to come out here to meet you today.
Fantastic.
My question to you is, now, like you said, now we're seeing a noir detective Batman. What do you think is the next evolution of Batman that we should experience as a fandom?
You know, what the question I'm asked most wherever I go, Michael, which one is the one true Batman? And I know what the answer is. The answer is whatever your Batman is that you first met when you were 8 or 12 or 16. Whether it was a comic book, a cartoon, a movie, a game. That is your one true Batman. But as they've proven in the comic books for 80 years, we've seen every iteration of Batman imaginable from... Look, I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I had Bat Baby, Bat Genie, Bat Robot, Bat Mite. I grew up with all that crap and loved it as a little kid. But I also got to experience Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams and Steve Englehart and Marshall Rogers and Frank Miller and so many other, Scott Snyder. I love Scott's writing. I got to experience all that. So, you know what the key is? The key is to find filmmakers who you believe know the character, understand the character, have a passion for the character, and then have a particular vision for the character that you believe they can execute. And if you can find somebody like that, I know, look, fans tend to go, oh, they're casting so-and-so, it's all about the actor. I go, no, it's not. Look at the filmmaker and figure out what's in the filmmaker's mind. Why would they cast Robert Pattinson? Well, maybe because he would be effective as a young Batman who's kind of just been starting out. Why would they cast Ben Affleck? Well, maybe he is a 45-year-old Bruce Wayne who's bitter and frustrated and is dragged back into it. You have to look at the filmmakers first to understand the casting. Yeah, every time there's been a fan uproar, it started with Michael Keaton. And this was before social media. I thought they were going to surround the studio with torches and pitchforks. I mean, it was incredible what was going on there. Uslan, God damn it, you know, you've got Mr. Mom, a stand-up comedian playing Batman, and you just announced it's going to be directed by the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. What are you doing? That was tough. That was probably the toughest of all. Then Chris Nolan comes in. They announce Heath Ledger is going to play the Joker. That's horrible. You're going to hire a gay cowboy to be the Joker? It's going to destroy the role forever. Until they see it. Then they never want anyone else to play it. And we had it with Ben Affleck, and we have it with Robert Pattinson, and it's just a repeating pattern. And my position with all fans are, you have an obligation and a responsibility to criticize a movie and to judge. But just see it first.
Yeah.
Just see it first, that's all I ask. And then make up your mind.